try to think about every morning how to maximize this experience in every way, and I think that the only way to do that is just to have fun with everything that I do. This morning I went through 1,000 emails. Actually, it was I think 1,262 when I woke up this morning that were just leftover from the week. This is something that I try to read every day, and everywhere I've lived, I've hung it up. Smile at strangers, slow down, say thank you, give lots of compliments. I like number 4. You put something out into the universe and you get it back.
Did you compliment anyone today yet?
I told Peter that his hair looked nice.
Let me pause for a second. Everyone under 30 in this room, please raise your hand. I just want to pause for a second and look around, because that's not typical.
Politics aren't just for people who have never made a mistake, or never made a sex joke, or have never missed an episode of Meet the Press. Politics are for everyone, and I really encourage young people, young women specifically, to vote as a way to express and affirm their power.
I think it's a myth that New Hampshire is for the New Hampshire primary is all about old white people. Every single college campus event I've gone to is packed. Students treat being in New Hampshire and being a part of the primary with the respect that it deserves.
I do care about the primary. I think politics are very important.
Voting this year is really an exciting thing for me and something I've been waiting to do since I was young.
I actually do have a voice this time, and I can make a decision and have that be heard.
Reinforces your belief in democracy when you come out here. These voters become hyper-informed and then, kind of winnow these large fields. I think it's such a great kind of participatory democracy.
As president, do you have any plans to reform the federal court system?
When the economy declines, we see an increase in racism. And I'm curious as to how you would go about trying to eliminate the issue.
How are you planning on keeping the country safe from international threats?
Could you tell us how you envision cutting the gun violence epidemic?
Thank you. Very good question on a very important issue.
There are 15 candidates on the road. I'm just one person out of in this huge machine that it takes to cover the whereabouts of these people. I definitely think that the amount of access that we have right now is unparalleled in comparison to what the rest of the election will be like. It's unique to be able to be an arm's length away from a candidate at a town hall, and it's not always going to be that way. That's why being in New Hampshire is so amazing.
The town hall itself, there's something really special and American about it. It's just this forum where anybody can get up and say their piece, to a possible president of the United States. I mean, that's a really special thing. A New Hampshire voter is an engaged voter, and I love it.
I hope to do well on the college campuses, try to get people registered, young people everywhere, get them registered and get them voting.
That's awesome. Thank you for your commitment to individual liberty.
Thank you.
I got to talk to this young lady. She doesn't think she's getting Social Security. If I'm president, she's absolutely going to get Social Security. And she's a student at the University of Maryland.
Yes.
And what are you taking?
I'm in business. I'm in the business school right now.
And when do you go back?
This Saturday. I have met Lindsey Graham, Ted Cruz, and Donald Trump.
I have personally met Bernie Sanders twice, and I've met Jeb Bush, and I almost met Hillary.
So I've seen Hillary Clinton. I've seen Marco Rubio. I have seen Ben Carson.
For me personally, it's very fun to have this experience, totally wild. I love the proximity to power, and by that I don't mean the power of the candidates, but the power of the voters and of the process. It's really inspiring to see the commitment with which New Hampshire voters take their role in the campaign.
There are a lot of young people who go out to see Trump. I'm not necessarily sure they're supporters or if they are just there to see what they view as a reality TV show.
And just, okay, are you ready? Here's a quiz. Here's a quiz. You ready? Who's going to pay for the wall? Mexico. Mexico's paying for the wall.
I don't know about you, but I personally want to see a giant wall get built. I think that's just, it's something that maybe should happen.
I think Donald Trump is resonating with regular people because he's the closest on the Republican side that they have to, you know, grandpa who gets a little drunk at the family party and starts spewing off racial slurs.
The man knows television. He knows how to get ratings. That's what he's after. That's what he's going to do. We'll see if it works. We'll see. I'm interested.
I just really like him. I'm really happy that he's running because he's not really a politician, and I liked how he presented himself.
He's different than other politicians because he's just so blunt, and I don't think that's really an excuse to be racist, but that's just me and a lot of other people my age.
Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. This is 14 years ago. They didn't do a retraction.
I got to get this off my chest. Donald Trump is a jerk.
Thank you.
You cannot insult your way to the presidency. You can't disparage women, Hispanics, disabled people. Who is he kidding?
To make fun of the disabled during a rally that's being filmed and put on national television, I don't necessarily think that's anything new in character from him. I think that it's a sign that he just doesn't care about anyone.
I am disabled. I had a stroke when I was 7 years old, so I walk with a limp and I don't have full use of my left hand. Living as a disabled person for most of my life makes me a better reporter, makes me a more empathetic person, and helps me understand other people and their struggles better than I think it would otherwise.
You spoke very movingly during your speech today about the pursuit of happiness. And as president, what would President Christie do to try to address unemployment issues with people with disabilities?
We've done it in New Jersey. I feel this is so important for folks who are suffering from disabilities in this country.
My name is Angelina Brown. I am a 13-year-old high-functioning autistic girl.
Well, my name is Jack, and I am disabled, and I am a senior citizen.
The moments that always resonate with me most are when people with disabilities get up and ask questions, because it's not an easy thing to do. It's an intimidating thing, and to stand up in front of a big crowd and confide in this stranger about your biggest problems and the hardest thing in your life is really always moving and touching.
My parents are struggling middle-class, hard-working Americans. How can you reassure them I will be taken care of when they are gone? No one else takes care of me like they do.
What's your name?
Angelina.
Well, Angelina, first of all, you're very brave to stand up and say that.
I don't know, the disability questions always get to me. It just makes me a little sad that things can be so bad that you have to get up in front of a huge group of people and these people are just asking for help that they're not getting.
Maybe you are a high school graduate trying to stand up on your own 2 feet, trying to become an adult, trying to earn some money, but you can't find any job at all. So what I think is we need in this country a massive federal jobs program to put our people back to work.
So first we're going to go to Gaffney Street. We go door to door, we talk to voters directly, we talk to them about the issues, about Senator Sanders and his policies. The first day I walked into the office, I was terrified. I thought, I'm no help here. I'm a high school senior. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, after a few tries, I was really starting to get the groove. I think that was the most surprising thing, how naturally it came, after a while. I'm sure you know, January is a huge month for the primaries. We've got a lot of campaigning to do, a lot of people to call. And we were hoping, given that you're such a big Bernie supporter, whether you could come and help us out with the campaigning. I think Bernie is honestly the candidate who's been proposing all of those things that people are talking about for years now. He hasn't gone back on that message, and I really want somebody in the White House who is fighting for those 24/7.
So that's why you're Bernie over Hillary?
That's why I'm supporting Bernie. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll let you guys do your job.
Awesome. I'm friends with a lot of people who talk a lot about politics, and they're from all over the political spectrum, so I don't think they think politics is irrelevant. They definitely think it's very important. It's just, it can be scary to put yourself out there. Thank you so much for your support, and yeah, we will definitely call you.
Yeah, have a great day.
Have a lovely day. And try to convince your roommates/friends to support Bernie as well and vote.
Millions of people, and significantly millions of young people who have not been involved in the political process, have got to stand up, get involved, and say very loudly and clearly that our government belongs to all of us and not just a handful of billionaire campaign contributors.